say hello to my little friends. I hadn't seen this one for a good few days. I'm not gonna bother to go over to him. He'll come over to me soon enough. He's already said hello. But this is, as you can see, he's got a collar on, yeah. Which ordinarily would suggest that the dog has an owner. That's kind of, I mean, this one lives kind of with this one. They're not my dogs, so they haven't names. They may have names, I just don't know them. But the point being, they live close by. But the female, who actually I thought was a male for a long time, she hasn't, as you can see, hasn't got a collar on. Whereas the white doggy over here and his brother, which he may possibly turn up whilst recording, he may not. I mean, he's identical, but he's just like a sandy colour, like this one. Yeah, like a reddy colour, a reddish ginger. And him as well. So the two of them have both got collars on, but the collars aren't suggesting that they're under ownership. So it's kind of like, well, no, we're not. No one's taking responsibility by actually placing a collar on them and taking ownership. Let's see if I can call them over. Hey, come here. Yeah, I'm talking to you, mister. You want kisses? Yeah, you want kisses? You want love? You want some love? Come here. Everyone wants to see you. Don't be jealous. Look. Where is it? See? It's got this collar on. And then when you take a picture of that, although actually it looks like it's changed. Because I think last time it was double-sided. So I'm not so sure. What's going on here? Is that the same one that I took video of last time? I'm not sure it is. Well, maybe it is, and that's the Department of Welfare or Animals, and that's the wording underneath, maybe. Well, anyway, you'll have to freeze frame and take a screenshot, because apparently this doggie's got rabies. Yeah, apparently so. And with his brother wearing the same collar, apparently he also has rabies. But I suggest it's BS. I have tried to make this video before, but for some reason it hasn't recorded, so I don't expect this to record either. But anyway, yeah, I do suggest it's not true. I think the people nearby have put that on in the attempt that people will see it, that, you know, are kind of friendly with the dog, because they're kind of making the dog a little bit docile in that sense, you know, by giving it attention. I mean, I could literally come up to this dog and it's you know, any time or night or day, and it will not bark, because obviously if anything it will do like he normally does, and like whimpering, like, oh, I'm so happy to see you, which clearly would never wake anybody up. But yeah, so I suggest that the tag is nothing more than a lie. But that's only, you know, that's only a guess. That's only my gut feeling. I've got no evidence to suggest that that's why the owner that doesn't want to take full responsibility by actually putting a proper collar on to say this is my dog, is come up with this idea to put these warning tags, if you like, instead. Don't get too near to the dog because it's, you know, got rabies. Or maybe the Thai understanding of rabies and the way they look at it is different to the West. Maybe it isn't a big deal. And obviously a dog in England, I mean, obviously it's been eradicated in England, so and it's not a concern. Yeah, because obviously dogs have all sorts of injections, you know, and it's eradicated in the 80s, I think, something like that, or 70s. So, you know, 40-50 years ago we got rid of rabies. But anyway, I know it's a thing here. Obviously people have their shots before they come out Asia for that sort of thing. And someone actually died very recently. It was on the news, well, on social media, say on the news, same but different. That a guy in Ubon Ratchathani, which is the next province along, also contracted it, got it through a dog bite, obviously, and died recently. I didn't say anything as to when he was bitten, or anything about that side of it. Just it was the report that a man had passed away of rabies, and that's about as much information that there was. Maybe his age and a little bit more, but that's pretty much it. So obviously it's a real thing, and close by. Like I say, Ubon Ratchathani is next province to Si-Keo, so it's not far at all. So I'm in two minds. I mean, the dogs themselves haven't changed in any shape or form. They're just as happy to see me as they were months ago before they started wearing these collars. My gut is telling me that someone's tried to, with the intention of getting the likes of me to stay away from these dogs. I think that's what my gut's telling me. And I could kind of understand why, because obviously if they want their dogs to be more on guard, which is kind of what dogs are more so out here in Asia than they are in the West, although there's still millions of working dogs all around the world, but they are seen more like that, more like a working dog, in as much as they're guard dogs. They'll obviously eat all sorts of things, like snakes and lizards and whatever else, pretty much, so they can get their teeth into. So they're a good way of keeping other creepy crawlies away from the house, and obviously unwanted, guests. So they're a protection, aren't they, in that sense? So when I say they're, working animals, it's not like a police dog or a sniffer dog or something like that, or even a sheepdog. They're not working in that sense, which is what in the West we kind of think of as a working dog. But I think that's the kind of mentality, if you like, that they have. They're not getting so emotionally attached to their animals, to the dogs. They're happy to have them in their lives. They're not certainly not anti-dogs. It's the absolute opposite. Obviously, they love dogs out here, but they don't give the affection, generally speaking. I have seen like handbag dogs, where their owners are basically holding it and cuddling it and being all cutesy wootsy with it. I have seen that, and we have that all across the world. That these people have these accessory dogs almost, and obviously there's the status that comes with that. Obviously having a high pedigree dog and all that. So I know that's the thing. So there is a small, but I think that proportionately wise, there's a very small proportion of people in Thailand that are all cutesy wootsy, lovesy dovesy with what are, no two ways about it. The fact that they kind of stay and protect a particular house nearby is neither here or there. They don't come inside the inside of the house. I can pretty much 100% guarantee you that. Yeah. So I kind of understand, like I say, how people wouldn't want their dogs to be tamed in that sense. Because they want them to be on guard. They don't want them to let the guard down. And a dog that's all of a sudden starting to get some attention, some affection from someone, could obviously, quite easily just walk up their driveway without a single sound being made. So I get it. I get it. I do get it. I mean, I've got obviously no intention of doing that, but I could understand why someone would, you know, put one of these rabies collars on a dog to kind of get people to keep away from it, and therefore not make it all soft and, you know, craving affection, which normally they're craving for, like any dog, I think, pretty much. I think all dogs, you know, I don't think there's a dog out there that will bite the hand that feeds it, that, you know, put it that way, in that sense. And obviously I feed these dogs, which is how I've become, you know, close to them. I mean, it's difficult for me to come up this road every day. I mean, I don't. Obviously there's other ways into the shops and into town. And here comes the rain. So I don't have to come this way, but every time I do, even if I haven't got food, just that, you know, they will all look at me expectantly. So it's hard to use this as my day-to-day route through Si-Keo, because, you know, I've become attached to them by feeding them. So when I haven't got food, I feel, you know, like shit. And unfortunately, there's nobody donating me or supporting me in my efforts, like, you know, lots of people on the internet, or, you know, there's dog sanctuaries all over, and people, hospitals to help street dogs and what have you. It's a big business, but, you know, anyway, there's no need. I mean, they look at, they're not skin and bones, are they? I mean, their coats are actually really good. I mean, there's plenty of other dogs nearby that their coats are nowhere near as in good condition, and certainly aren't anywhere near as healthy as these two. But like I've done and shown in many videos since, you know, feeding these dogs, it's really difficult when you get the alphas around that basically scare the shit out of all the others, and they just run away with their tails between the legs, and they end up getting nothing, you know. So it's really difficult. It really is. You know, but you persist, you know. But none of them look like they're on their last legs, put it that way. I'm a bit worried about the pups just up the road here. They seem to have gone recently. Haven't seen them the last... Time goes so quick, so it's hard to say, but it feels like I haven't seen them for a week, but it's probably only about 4 or 5 days. But yeah, even still, not seen them at all the last 3 or 4 times I've come down this way. It's a little bit worrying, and I've come down at night time as well, which is the time ordinarily to see them, and the last 2 or 3 times I've come down during the night time, haven't seen them. Don't stop. Allay. You're. Allay. Please don't start scrapping. I can't stand hearing dogs fight or seeing dogs fight. What? Yeah, you. Everyone can hear you. Yeah, whoa. No one cares. Nobody cares. Yo. Lie down. Lie down. Oi. Shh. Enough. Shh. 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 I said shush. Shh. Hey. Shush. Shut up. You saying no? My. You're so... I've never ever seen her be so vocal. Allay. Allay. Fort Mac. Huh? I've never seen those buggies turn up before. They've brought them down in the hope of leaving them down here, I suggest with him and his brother, and this one is obviously the love partner, but in the love triangle of him and his brother. Is this your gaff, is it, love? Your gaff? Allay. Get your heckles down and stop you being nice, because the rate you like to go, and you're going to end up having in one big scrap, and there's going to be a bloodbath. Yeah, it'll be a bloodbath. There's 3 or 4 of them, darling. You won't be just taking on one, you'll be taking them on all. Because you can guarantee you start on one, they'll all come in to help him. Just like he's part of your pack, but look at him. He's walked off, darling, he's left you. Yeah, see? And he ain't got his brother around either. So unless he turns up, you'll be outnumbered, my love. And I ain't jumping in between you. Oi, you. Oi, you. Oi. Shh. Behave. They'll just come for a walk. They'll go home. Come here. Come here. Yuck. Oh dear. You thought better of it, and I think you should, my love. There's 3 of them and only 1 of you. The odds don't look good. So anyway, yeah, none of that was the purpose of the video, and hopefully the result isn't these dogs kicking off and tearing each other to shreds. The purpose of the video is the collar that this one is wearing. Now I am really surprised with her barking like that, that the sandy coloured one, the other one that's got the collar on, why he hasn't kind of come bounding down here. Maybe he senses the fact that these two are kind of outnumbered, so he's hanging back. I'm not sure, but ordinarily I would think that he'd be here like a rocket, hearing her being like that. Or maybe not, because maybe he's scared of her, because I think obviously her being the bitch that's so close to this one and his brother, maybe she rules the roost kind of thing. So maybe, oh shit, she's not happy, I ain't fucking going up there to see what the crack is, you know. That's not him over there, I don't think. No. I've never seen anyone come down, bringing their dogs down here like this guy on his motorbike. Never seen anyone come down there with the dogs, and basically the dogs have followed them. So if they go, then the dogs will follow. And there's a couple now up on the road. There's one over here. I don't know if he's part of this group here. I hope for his sake it is, because he'd be stuck between these two and those 4. Is it 4? 3? Yeah, just go home, pal. I don't think it's a wise decision bringing your dogs down here with you. Yeah. Well, mate, I'm pretty sure he's a local, so he knows the area. And there's literally, what, between here and home, probably 10, minimum 10 street dogs. And that's just between here and home. If I go back around a couple of these other off-roads down here, there's probably another 5 or 6 on each road. So there's probably 20 or 30 street dogs in this less than a square mile. Shush now. Shush now. Yeah, it's very unusual for her to be so vocal. Normally she's very timid and laid back and chill. It's not like there's any food on offer anywhere. I don't know why she's been all antsy-pantsy for. Oh, thankfully. Right. Shh. 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 Oh dear. Take your dog to the wicket, pal. That's it. Bugger off. Yes, darling. They're all now going. I think you realise how. Leave the last one alone. Don't wait. Don't you dare pick off the weak one on the back there. Shh. Hey. Tayen. Hey. Tayen. Come here. I love the way she rubs her head against my knee. I wouldn't have done jack shit to help any of you. Sorry. If you street dogs want to tear the hell out of each other, I'm just going to stand back and watch. Well, actually, probably close my eyes. It's not something I really want to watch, to be fair. Hopefully that ended rather well. But yes, very out of character for her. But like I say, her and her little threesome kind of rule this little area. This is their domain. They're the biggest, healthiest looking dogs around here, so I can see this. That the guy's just now gone right around the corner and has turned left. So he lives quite a ways away from here. He's going down there. Like I say, I hope he wasn't planning on dumping his dogs here. Well, clearly being on a motorbike, that's not the case, because that'd never work. The dog would chase you home or know it would find its way back home rather quickly, unless you took it for a very long way away from its home. And the only thing really probably then from you know, unless it was like hundreds of kilometres, then you'd have no problem. Anyway, that's a topic for another day.